Good morning, Karen from Quantum Heart Awakening. Excuse my voice, it's a little froggy this morning. I'm really torn between doing a Divine Feminine reading and a Pisces reading, so I think I'm going to have to do both of them. But let's start with Divine Feminines. Divine Feminines, where are we going? What are we confronting? Okay, Masculines got this yesterday, self-love in reverse. This is something that feminine energy has been working on forever, this worthiness, this equality, fighting back against this idea that we somehow have to earn our keep to be worthy of life. We have to earn our keep by being in service, by being beautiful, by fill in the blank, to earn our space in this earth just to exist, right? This is something the feminine collective has been shedding over all this time. We have teaching and learning in reverse. Okay. All right. Let's get some more. All right. What else, Spirit? What else is the feminine collective confronting? Okay. All right. Yesterday, feminines were confronting, wow, all reversals. Very interesting. Yesterday, feminines were confronting reconnecting with spirit, reconnecting with source. That was actually moving in the collective yesterday. I'm just going to shuffle quick. Anything else, Spirit? We're just going to keep going until it all makes sense. Okay. In the unconscious position. All right. So we have love in reverse in the unconscious position. For me personally, as a reader, this is a false shadow, meaning what you think you're pushing into the shadow, or what you think is scary that you are pushing into the shadow, is not actually the thing. It's like not what you think it's going to be. Another way to say this is the thing you're pushing into the shadow doesn't have as much power over you as you think it is. We have love here. So again, let's just name all of it, right? Self-love, love of others, allowing love into your life, past love, healing these wounds. So maybe a narrative here is that your past love experiences, your experiences within relationships, your experiences with your family of origin, this old love or lack of love, whatever pain around love does not have a stronghold over you as much as you think it does. Okay. What else? Sorry, I don't know why these cards are bothering me. I had more room than I thought I did. Okay, yeah, let's get into it. So anytime there's a spread where it's all reversals and then one anchor, that's how I look at it. And one upright, the upright is the anchor for me. Why do I narrate these things? Because sometimes I think, just like how I started watching YouTube readings and different oracle and tarot readings, I like to understand the process. I like to understand, how this reader is anchoring their thought process. So that's just me. If you don't like it, I'm sorry. But, some people also want to learn how to do this. So it's my little way of teaching as I go. Okay. So we have nature, self-love, teaching and learning, and spiritual career in reverse. And this is what is being manifested right now, or this is what you're called to manifest. Okay, I overdid it with the cards now. They're not all on camera. See how annoying it is? Like, I feel like my brain's anal like that. Okay. This is really exciting, feminines. This is exciting because basically you're manifesting turning all of these upright, right? It is the feminine's job, and this is an idea from Clarissa Pinkola S's The Woman Who Wrote Women Who Run with Wolves, and many other incredible publications. Hold on, I'm getting off track because I got excited about this message. Okay, it is the part of the feminine duty to teach. Literally, it's built in. We raise and rear children, or we raise and rear energies. We raise and rear new creations on the planet. Whatever that looks like for you. It doesn't have to be actual children. It could be projects. It could be mission and purpose. It could be a business, an organization, a whatever it is. It is part of our physiological makeup to educate, to grow, to water the seeds of something. And so I don't know if some of you have been really suppressing this like true nature that you are meant to be a teacher, that you are meant to help the collective shift and grow and to learn more. Yes, it could be absolutely overwhelming, but your spiritual career is on the horizon. I also really love, by the way, that this is book ended by 2 pink cards. I know that might not seem like a big deal, but I've been talking with a lot of my collective feminines and my community. And, you know, what's being called in is a lighter touch. Is this what we would call in my industry temple feet? When we create a sacred temple, I've had elders tell me walk with temple feet. What does that mean? That means walk intentionally, walk lightly. Don't stomp your feet through a holy place. Walk in reverence. And so it's very interesting to me that this is coming up because the feminine collective is, I think, has been through enough stuff, has overcome enough stuff to understand that their life is the temple, that their life is holy, that their desires, their mission, their purpose, their impulses to relax, their impulse to take up more space so that they can go at their true feminine pace, not to be pressured by an external energy or a masculine energy. It's so just wild that this is coming up in the reading and also completely ordinary, right? It's like, it's just a confirmation to me that what's moving in my own life and the lives of my friends who are also in this, doing this work in a bigger way, is that our impulses are getting their own programming of self-esteem. It's like our default programming to evaluate, is this okay? Are we enough? Is it okay to rest right now? Or should I be doing XYZ? It's all falling away. There's something here about this. These pink cards gave me this message of like, it's not the primary colors. It's not the primary chakra colors. These pink cards to me are like this sweet, like gingerly, sorry, I'm getting interrupted with a visual. It's like, they're showing me a mountain with a really rough terrain, and then they're showing me someone on their like skipping on their tippy toes, like in a woman, I'm assuming, because they're in a flowy dress, who's not wearing like big harnesses and all the hiking gear. They're just like gingerly traversing the mountaintops in this rough terrain, but they're like almost skipping. I'm so sorry. My phone rang right in the middle of that. I've never had that happen. Forgive me. So yeah, this visual of this like beautiful figure in this beautiful dress just skipping along, and just this light passage through rough terrain. We are, as a collective feminine, we are meant to walk through life, to skip, to dance, to flow through life with this lighter touch, with this lighter step. Almost as if you could visualize yourself floating above the ground, just like 3 or 4 inches. And when you go to step, it's like only the tippy top of your tippy toes, like your big toe is the only toe that actually touches the earth, skims the earth. There's this kind of call to move in lightness, to move. And when you think about it, this is how spirit moves through our life, right? Spirit comes and nudges us. Maybe it's a message comes in a breeze. Maybe it comes in a feather. Maybe it comes in a song you heard on the radio or something your child said to you. Spirit is always, always in constant communication with us. It's just up to us and our awareness to tune into the frequencies that are already flowing around us. Okay, beautiful first primary message. I'll get this out of the way. Where do we want to go, Spirit? Where do we want to go? Whoa, okay, I'm getting drawn in like 5 different directions. Let's go with my first instinct. All right, Spirit, what else do you want to share about this legends. Learn from those who inspire you. Beautiful. And then we have choices in reverse. Make the best choices. I'm putting it up right so we could see it. Yeah, it's like, feminines, how long are you going to continue to turn your back on your intuition? Women's intuition, feminine intuition, is the most powerful thing ever. And for us to ignore it is to ignore like this wellspring of knowledge and wisdom and higher calling. It doesn't matter if you get the intuition to use a different spatula, or to take a different route on your way to work, or to eat this and not that. It doesn't matter how small this little intuitive nudge is. What matters is that you're developing a conscious relationship with it. When you get the intuitive nudge, do you listen? I always give this example because it's just so easy. Like if you get a nudge that you're supposed to go for a walk after the meal you just ate, and then you say, I should go for a walk, and then don't go for a walk, that's you going against your intuition. That is you creating a fragmentation, or a split. In psychology, we call them splits in the psyche, but this is an energetic split. It's quite literally you are betraying the wisdom that's coming through you. And now what happens, just like in real 3D life, when you ignore someone 100 times or even 20 times, maybe even 5 times? What happens when you ignore someone? Eventually that person stops reaching out. That person stops talking to you, right? That person doesn't feel comfortable to come to you, to ask things, to create, to be present with. So you are then isolated in a different way. And this is exactly what happens with spirit. Even though spirit has a bit more resilience than the average human, spirit is in constant communication. It's a matter of spirit's waiting for us to tune in. Spirit's waiting for us to pick up the phone and say, yes, I hear you loud and clear. I will go do that thing. Now, is there anything I want to say about that? Let me feel into it. No, we're going to keep going. Anything else, Spirit? Anything else? Do I take that? Nope, it didn't pop out. Oh, okay. All right, let's see. All right, we have a bunch of reversals, but I'm going to put them up right. Let's see. We have vacation, take time for relaxation and adventure. For those of you, it's also not lost on me. These are all the same color. They're not all the same color in this deck. It's not lost on me. No, wait, what was I saying? Oh, so for me right now, this doesn't, maybe for some of you it means to actually go take a real vacation, but for me, this is for those of you seekers on the path who are showing up with so much integrity, so much intention, are daring to ask a bolder question and to turn over another stone and to show up again and again and again. It's exhausting. It's exhausting keeping up with this pace of inquiry, with this pace of processing, right? For those of you who are continuing to dare to meet yourself on the edge of yourself, means you're always confronting new terrain. And that's exhausting. When you don't know, when you're not familiar with the terrain, you have to learn everything. It's like you're in a constant state of beginner. You're consistently starting over, and that gets exhausting. So it's really important, feminines, that you have hobbies, that you take some sort of time for relaxation and adventure, right? It doesn't just say like relaxation, vacation. It says and adventure. So it's not just enough to rest and tune out the world. It's also important that you're having experiences that are inspiring, that fill you with awe and wonder, that inspire creativity, that inspire play. When's the last time you've danced or sang or something just playful? Like sometimes it's fun to go to a playground and just like play on the monkey bars or sit on a swing or do something out of the ordinary that, is like a discontinuity in your life. Like what can you do to break up the patterns, right? Okay, and then we also have 7 heavenly virtues, keys to goodness, and face your fears. Release the power of your fear. let me just look what's in the unconscious position. We have dragon, discover your courage. Yeah, there's something healing here, feminines. There's something here around healing this relationship with your self-esteem, healing the worthiness, how everyone's different. I mean, yes, there's absolutely key things that we can do to support our self-esteem, to support that self-love. And remind you, we started with self-love in reverse. So it's all gonna, all these roads are gonna lead back to Rome, right? All of these roads are gonna lead back to self-love. Self-love is like the keystone piece of this message today. So you're being asked to really leap off the cliff towards your self-love. Now, how do I want to ask this? What does it for you? Like, what are some experiences you've had in your life that really boost your self-esteem? For me, when I like do something alone, it boosts my self-esteem, like traveling or going to have lunch by myself or going to a museum alone. There's something about like carving out some one-on-one time with myself. And it's not just like being alone at home, laying in bed, watching Netflix or something. It's actually being out in the world and moving with the energies in the world by myself. There's something about that does it for me. So I'm curious what that is for you. Is there anything else? Is there anything that really supports your self-esteem? What gives you confidence in this life? And I would stay away. I mean, yes, I understand when certain things like, okay, am I going to be this honest? I'm going to be this honest. So, shopping has been a hard thing for me in my life. Shopping, I grew up in an environment where like shopping was used sort of as retail therapy, and that became sort of an unhealthy coping mechanism for me, like in my earlier years in college. And I noticed that like anytime I was stressed or I had an altercation with someone, like I would go shopping and it would just provide such a freaking boost of energy and positivity. But I really wanted to break that habit. And I did. I absolutely did, because it wasn't the healthiest for me, right? So I understand how things like that might feel good in the moment. And hey, listen, everything has a time and a place. If you need to do that, you need to do that in that moment as like a bridge to get you to the other side, right? But what are some things that actually enrich the soul, right? For me, that was like a quick fix. And then when I got home and I looked at all the stuff I bought, I didn't have that same feeling, right? So then I would return it and it became this awful, weird cycle. So then I just stopped. I found something else. For me, dancing gets me there. For me, like, anything that stimulates my inner child, my play, drawing really crazy takes me out of my head and gets me into that like sweetness that, just like taking a marker and scribbling on a page like a little kid would. There's something about that. It does something to my brain to actually rewire these neurological pathways to self-love, to play. So again, feminines, it's not as much as unplug. Well, yes, absolutely. It is unplugging from all these different things, but don't forget to then re-plug into new things, plug into things that feed your energetic bank account, your soul bank account. I need a sip of tea. It's my fresh ginger tea. Okay. Where else do we want to go, Spirit? Where else do we want to go? Yeah, let's get some of these goddess cards. Oh, okay. We have Star Mother. How can you mother yourself, right? Parenting came up in yesterday's reading. We're always parenting. You're going to hear me like a broken record talk about parenting these internal parts. Why? Because when you're a parent for life, right? Let's just own that. We're all parents, whether you have kids or not. We are responsible for all of our internal parts. You might have an inner child, an inner teenager, an inner college kid, a scared part, a protector part, a part that you are ashamed of. We have all of these different parts that we are consistently responsible for. We have birthing a new age, birthing new creations, dreaming a new world into being, and take a break. Life's work, not a season. Get off the treadmill. Oh my God, these repeating messages already are pretty wild. So yeah, for me, the Star Mother card, how can you mother yourself? This also means how can you mother yourself in the face of these moments where you don't believe you are lovable, worthy, or enough to share your wisdom and to drop into your spiritual self. You know, this does say specifically spiritual career. Maybe for some of you, I'm just showing a 60-40 split. For some of you, it is an actual spiritual career. Do some of you have gifts? You know, it's funny because I'm going to say like 6 months ago, I don't know if that's accurate, but there was a time where spiritual career came up for the feminines over and over and over again. We've taken a break and now it's back. So to me, what that's telling me as a reader over this arc of time is that something has changed and you're ready to confront this again. Doesn't that make sense? It's like, okay, you had different lessons to learn. Now those are out of the way. Now you can go back to this bigger, this big mama right here. So for some of you, what gifts do you have that you've been denying? Do you have a gift that people have told you your whole life over and over again? Wow, you're so intuitive. Wow, you're so good with people. Just being around you is healing. You're such a good listener. Like, have you been suppressing these little nuggets from the universe that you have a gift to share with humanity? Because for some of you, it is about stepping into your gifts in a more tangible way. Maybe for some of you, it's about creating a side hustle or a side business, or just seeing people on the side to test your gift, to hone your gift. It's not lost on me, this teaching and learning card. So, it's like through teaching, we learn about ourselves. Through being in service to others, we are also in service to self. Why? Because stepping into the vulnerabilities, into the intimacy with others, it becomes this sacred mirror that reflects back to us pieces of self. And then we get to take accountability, clean that up, parent those parts of self, or those lessons that are coming through your clients, through your students, through these people that came to you for something, right? We all breathe as one. So we have to remember that we're always working with mirror reflections, that everything and everyone around us can be a messenger if we tune our awareness to that. Okay, and then we have birthing new creations, dreaming a new world into being. Yeah, this is, sorry, the message that's coming through is like not all feminines have the energy to do this. Again, it feels like that 60-40, like 40% of you are still in the healing part of the journey. And listen, let me just blanket statement here. We're going to be in the healing part of the journey our entire lives, right? The journey never ends. The journey, probably continues after we leave these bodies. That's my assumption. From all my experiences, that's my assumption. So for about 40% of you, there's some more intentional healing work that needs to be done. But for the other 60%, you have enough energetic currency in your bank account to invest in manifestation, right? This is the one upright. So for about 60% of you, it might even be higher. They're not telling me it's higher, but whatever. I'm going to stay with my 60-40. You're ready. You're ready to actually manifest all this being different. It's funny. I just like this whole world of manifestation has been so like polluted. That's the best word to use. It's like, it's gone through the Hollywood. It's had the Hollywood treatment where it's like people think about manifestation and prayer as if it's like, yeah, I want to manifest this new job or $1 million in your bank account, or it's about stuff. My spiritual mentor, you'll hear me talk about Carolyn Mays 24/7. She's my core spiritual mentor. She says, don't be a stuffologist, right? When you pray, don't pray for stuff. It's so insulting to the power of the divine, to the quantum field. So, we forget that in our journey with manifestation, we can also manifest healing. We could also manifest new versions of self, new ways of responding to triggers, new way of responding to different activations, we could actually manifest regulation in a situation that normally would send us over the edge, right? I mentioned yesterday something that's like very hard for me or scary for me is public speaking. That's a really common one. But for me, it's like in college, I've hyperventilated before and passed out during a presentation. So that's somewhere in my fascia of my body. I have muscle memory of that traumatic experience. And so that's extra scary for me. But I can actually manifest, me speaking in front of 5,000 people in ease, grace, and flow, and have access to my grounding, have access to spirit and source. I'm getting emotional talking about it. Why spirit? Why is this emotion moving through me? Okay. This emotion is moving through me because we forget how powerful we are in the face of our obstacles. We are never alone. We are meant to use this and remember this all the time. And yet we think and we drown in our own powerlessness. We think we have no power to affect change in ourselves and in the world around us. Thank you, Spirit. Beautiful message. And then we have this, take a break, a life's work, not a season. Get off the treadmill. Okay. This is for those of you who have been going hard and fast with this world of transformational work. Listen, I'm the perfect person to talk about this. When I first started in the world of transformation over a decade ago, because I was drowning in my own pain and trauma, because I was learning about boundaries and didn't understand. I'm so sorry about that. My phone is ringing off the hook even when I put it on silent. Good times. Anyway, moving on. So I don't remember exactly what I was saying. I think I was saying I'm the best person to talk about this because when I started my spiritual journey, I was so drowning in my own victimhood and pain and trauma that, and mind you, I'm not criticizing that version of myself. I had to go through all those things to overcome them, right? However, I made this horrible association between intensity and transformation. I made a binary connection, which I thought the more the more intensity an experience is, the more transformation I'll get. And that's a very common thing when people start getting into personal development. Like the more edgy something is, the more painful something is, the more fill in the blank something is, the more transformation I'll get, the greater I'll be yanked out of myself and the greater change I will get in my life, right? There's something about that is very common for people. But I had to learn the hard way that more intensity when I was in a vulnerable state, a vulnerable energetic state of being, was actually causing me more trauma. And then it took me a few years into it to realize, oh, whoa, I'm actually creating more trauma for myself that I now have to heal from. So it's like trying to bail out water out of your canoe when there's a huge hole in the boat. It's sort of like a joke, right? It's like not going to have the desired impact that we would want, right? So remember that you came here, and mind you, this is just my belief. You don't have to believe this, but I believe in soul contracts. I believe our soul chooses our parents, chooses what kind of life we want, chooses our hardships, our lessons that we want to learn here in Earth School. So understand that you have an entire program that you're here taking in Earth School. It's not about any one moment. It's about your entire soul's journey, right? And maybe that soul's journey even extends beyond this lifetime. I don't know. I have no way of knowing that or proving that. So mind you to take your self-esteem with you along the journey. You don't have to run yourself into the ground like fighting for this transformation, fighting for this thing, right? You're allowed to rest. And this is kind of a mind-blowing moment, but part of your transformation might also be learning to love yourself in all of these different states. Can you love yourself when you're struggling the same way you love yourself when you're succeeding and you're creating and you're having soul connections and deep connections with people? Can you love yourself? Can you gift yourself the same amount of grace in your shadow as you do your light? Beautiful. Okay. Oh, Spirit, I'm exhausted from these messages. Where else do you want me to go? Because I'm losing steam, Spirit. All right. What do we got? We have dazzling charm, and we have something in reverse. We have wealth in reverse. Anything else, Spirit? Okay, then. We have sacrifice, and we have worthy. Wow. Okay. I mean, these are, if I had to pick pillars of this reading, these would be them. Right? Stepping into a wealth of abundance of who your soul really is. Stepping into worthiness. This is the self-love piece. Sacrificing what no longer serves. You know, it's funny, when we hear the word sacrifice, we think we have to give up something we love, right? Oh, it's such a sacrifice to give up, my shopping habits or, Netflix or social media or like whatever it is. We think it's something that we have to, that we love. However, when you're playing a soul game, when you're playing a quantum level game, when your awareness is operating in the penthouse opposed to the basement, you are understanding that your baseline reality is a fully enlightened, awakened being with all of your gifts, talents, and self-love and love of other at the surface. That's your baseline. So sometimes the things we have to sacrifice are things that no longer serve us, right? Like fear, negative talk. Let me think of what else we're meant to sacrifice here. It's like changing your brain to just wrap it around the idea that we can sacrifice, or that we are sacrificing things that do not serve our highest and greatest potential, our highest human self, right? Our higher self. We're sacrificing bad habits. We're sacrificing not getting enough sleep. We're sacrificing not taking care of ourselves. When you step into this new way of moving through the world, all of this worthiness arrives. And then you could actually, it's like picture your soul finally being able to fire on all cylinders. What would that version of self look like? What would it look like if you've reached your potential in every aspect of your life? That's your baseline. That's your baseline. And yet so many of us have so much wounding and programming to sift through that tells us we're not enough, that we're not thin enough, not smart enough, not rich enough. Fill in whatever fits your situation. This is a perfect time to get some of these affirmation cards. I rarely use them, but here we go. Yeah, look at this. I love and honor myself. Let me read it. It says, the same compassion and appreciation you give others is equally, if not more, important to show yourself. Words of affirmation, accepting mistakes, setting clear boundaries, that's the most important one, and following your intuition are just some of the ways you can express and magnify self-love. It reminds me of that quote. I'm sure many of you have heard it, that what you desire is desiring you, or what you're wanting is wanting you. Like the universe is always working out in our favor. And I think we have to start switching our mindset that, oh, I am loved by the universe. I am supported. If I take a step towards something, it's actually not a risk if that step is in alignment and resonant with my soul's deepest truth. That's the game we're playing. We have to start recalibrating our nervous system, our compass, our internal compass, to understand that it's not actually a risk to leap off the cliff towards resonance, towards your soul's deepest desire. It's actually a risk not to. Do you understand that? I'm going to say it again. It's not actually a risk not to leap off the cliff. It's actually a risk not to. Wait, did I screw that up? It's not a risk to leap off the cliff. It's a risk not to. There we go. Here we go. I trust my journey. Move forward in life with the certainty that you are on a journey headed towards your highest self. When you hold steadily to your vision, understand that reaching the final destination will be worth it. The roadmap of life is ever changing and leading you towards your destiny. So a really big part of this message here is to understand that once you understand where you're going, it's not like you're getting this all-knowing vision and sight of like, okay, now spirit has revealed the map to me. Now I could, now I could sit back and kick back and relax and it's nice and easy breezy. No, you're going to have these moments over and over and over again. When you come to find chaos as safety, you come to understand more accurately, more succinctly how the quantum field works. Because here's the thing, if it was just easy breezy, you wouldn't really learn anything, right? We need the abrasion to get us out of our shell. We need struggle. We need trials and tribulation. We need something to overcome. We need something to confront on our hero's journey. What if the young man left the village for his hero's journey and he met zero adversity? What if he had all the food he needed and all the animals were nice to him and everything went perfect? He might not even come back to the village because he's had such a beautiful, powerful experience that was just easy breezy, right? No, the hero's journey is about leaving comfort, overcoming something, coming back with the lessons, and coming back as a transformed person. It's not about it's not a journey, it's a rite of passage, right? I think that's really important to underline in this reading, feminines, that again, you need your hero's journey. You need this abrasion. So trusting in chaos, starting to equate chaos with safety, means you are starting to trust that if you're in chaos right now, feminines, if your life is in chaos, whether that's career, family, relationships, whatever it is, money, whatever, understand that that's the quantum field shaking your life up because it's not supposed to be this way. So understanding that actually chaos is like step one on your hero's journey. It's like a beautiful, like, yes, okay, there's finally chaos. Now growth and change gets to begin. Yeah, I'm laughing. I just happened to look down what's in the unconscious. It says, my growth is unlimited. Harness your power to develop your strengths. There is no limit to your personal improvement. Take time to understand any areas in your life that require further growth. There is nothing standing in between turning your good into great. Yeah, patience and grace. Patience and grace, feminines. Patience and grace. Is there anything else I want to say? Yeah, there's a whole nother message, but I'm very tired right now. This was a big message for me, but it's something that has been showing up in all of my feminine dominant friends. How do I start this? Let me just grab one question to kick us off. What does this say? Get grounded. Empaths, highly sensitive, connect with nature. Yes. So for me, that's a self-care card, and that's exactly where I was going to go with this. I'm losing my train of thought. Hold on. I think as feminines who have had to survive a very long-standing patriarchal environment, patriarchal ideals, patriarchal ways of being in the world, we have just been raised in an abrasive situation. And so in some degree, there is a level of inherited trauma that we all carry in our womb space. Whether you have a womb or not, you have a womb energetic space. And so part of, I think, what the feminine collective has to shift is to understand, like, feminines, you don't have to go out searching. You don't have to go out looking for this treasure map to find your hero's journey. You're already on it. And so be kind to yourself and rightfully place your skills, your gifts, your intentions, your prayers, your creativity. Rightly place them on the altar. Rightly place them in their exalted state on their throne. Because what you do, feminines, on a daily basis by just waking up and existing and surviving in this world is already your hero's journey. You don't have to win at a masculine game. You don't have to play the masculine way. You don't have to live by the masculine rules. You are here to revere your own rules, revere and trust your own instincts, repair your self-love, repair our self-love, repair our self-worth, step into this divine natural way of being, a way of being that's in alignment and resonance with the world around us. Feminines, we're so good at that, right? Feminines are incredible at making lemonade out of freaking lemons over and over and over again, and doing it with love in their hearts. That's also incredibly painful. It's painful to have to do that while climbing uphill, up a mountain with a ton of weight on your back, right? It slows down the journey. And listen, if you find that there's anger rising in you because of all this injustice and imbalance and corruption and degradation and pain, vibrate it. You are feeling the collective pain. That's real. I mean, you've heard me tell stories of me in my raging feminist days. Like, I had so much anger in this body. I had so much stuff to transmute. I couldn't even talk about certain things because it was so painful. It was so painful. I mean, I did, again, an undergrad and a master's degree in women's studies, and the whole program, the whole thing is dismantling systems of imbalance, systems of injustice. And so what does that look like? You're looking at systems of injustice. You're looking how we pillage the earth, how we contaminate the water, how we, abuse people, abuse elders and children. Like, it's so intense to confront all of that pain, suffering, and injustice. And I was so angry for so long that I was so angry that the anger was blocking any sort of love that needed to come through to resolve those situations. Oh, I'm getting emotional. Right? It's like, what is the famous MLK quote of, darkness cannot drive out darkness, only light can do that, which means hate cannot drive out hate, only love can do that. So your greatest gift to this planet, feminines, is learning how to hold your center for love despite what chaos is around you. This is the name of the game. This is where meditation comes in. This is like, how can we control our minds? How can we control our power? We have to hit this work on all levels. So why am I sharing all of this? Because there's some of you that are in deep active pain. And if that's the case, take care of yourselves. Vibrate it out. You could look up vagus nerve exercises. You can message me. I can give you a bunch. Bilateral stimulation, rapid eye movement, bilateral rapid eye movement, tremoring, letting your whole body shake, dancing, getting it out, using breath, sound, and movement to purge the energy, to transmute and alchemize the energy, the pain, the letdowns, the constant trauma, the corrupt pace of life. Like, here's the thing, even if nothing specifically traumatic has happened to you, the feminine energy operating at a masculine pace is traumatic. Do you understand? That's not a small thing I just said. The feminine energy operating for decades and decades at the masculine pace of life is traumatic to the feminine energy. And the reverse might also be true. The masculine energy might be, I don't think it is, I don't even want to say it because I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it because the masculine and feminine all contain one another. But the problem is that the masculine operating system that has been on the planet hasn't been the exalted masculine. That's why. There it is. Okay, I got it. Click. That's why it's not vice versa, right? Because exalted masculine energy also exalts the feminine energy within. And so we live this tempered, sober, right? Stepping into that energetic sobriety to honor both energies and the gifts they bring when, and only when, they are in their exalted, grounded state. This is a really important lesson. I didn't even know this was going to come out, but I knew I had to keep talking about this. This is very important, feminines. My nose started running. That's interesting. Let me take another sip. Spirit, is there anything else? I'm just going to crack a deck really quick and just see. Yeah, clarity. Okay. Yeah, I'll put this right here. So, it's funny I'm looking at this crystal ball and thinking of the old cartoons with psychics looking into their crystal ball. And so feminines, you are being asked to look into your own energetic personal crystal ball. If you had a genie, say there were magical genies, and this genie was like, I will give you whatever you want. I'm not even going to give you 3 wishes. I'm going to give you unlimited wishes. And this genie said to you, what would you like in this life? What would you like clarity on? What would you like to understand? What would you like to know? What would you like to see, to do? Do you have things that you can name, feminines? This is really important. This feels like a journal exercise here. If someone knocked at your door and could grant you any wish you would ever want on the planet, any wish for your family, for your extended family, for your generations that survive you, is there anything that you could name right now? You're being asked to have clarity, because by the way, I love how this whole message is bookending this entire reading. What are we ending with? We're ending with a crystal ball. What do we start with? Manifestation. So you're being asked to love yourself enough to actually dare to ask for what you want, feminines. What is it? What is it? What have you not been allowing yourself to ask for? I had a crazy dream last night. God, maybe this is why I had the dream. It's coming full circle and it's making sense. I had a crazy dream last night, and my awesome shamanic soul sister friend always taught me to, before you come out of the dream, like before you open your eyes and fully wake up, ask yourself, what was the overall feeling in the dream? And so I did that this morning. And this morning it was like to learn to acknowledge myself, to learn to consider myself. And that's something I've actually been working on. This is a theme. And listen, this isn't uncommon for people who are deeply in service and have a calling to learn how to have boundaries, to learn how to have boundaries with their empathy and allow that empathy to include self, right? It's like our service is limited if we don't love ourselves, if we don't take care of ourselves, because we're going to burn out, right? We're going to eventually burn out. And then what? And then we have to heal. And then it's a whole vicious cycle of not taking care of ourselves. So you're being asked, feminines, to really feel into, if someone could just come down from the heavens and gift you with the missing puzzle piece of your life, of your awareness. And mind you, this isn't like I want so much money in the bank. This isn't like about stuff. This isn't about your 3D life. This is about your internal world. If you could wake up and ask for the gold of a wish, what would it be? And is it something that would give your soul more power, your personhood more power? Is it like letting go of a fear? Is it having more confidence? Is it loving your body, loving your voice, loving your truth, being able to express your truth in a calm, confident, rational, logical way that doesn't abandon your emotional truth? Is there, it's like, what are these core soul pieces? You're being asked to call them up because the universe is ready to give them to you. And when they give you that missing puzzle piece, you will be able to step into the spiritual career, whatever it is. You'll be able to step into this more natural flow of teaching and learning in your life. Maybe it's to yourself, maybe it's to your family, maybe it's to your students, maybe you have actual students, maybe it's to your coworkers, your clients. This is what's on the other side of this clarity and self-esteem. Okay, beautiful. I think I'm going to leave it there. Let's just end on a Buddha wisdom really quick. Anything else? Anything else, Spirit? Offend no one and yet speak the truth. Be clear with and kind with your words, never harsh. This is really important, feminines. You need to hold yourself accountable for how you speak to yourself. Again, you just heard me go off on a tangent about not abandoning yourself, considering yourself, including yourself in the equation of of love and service. It's like, as feminines on the planet, we're so busy putting out everybody else's fires that they started, right? That's like a thing. That's a known thing. Women, I'm switching to women now, not just feminine, but women have some of the, I forget, Gabor Mate talks about this all the time. 82% of autoimmune diseases are in women because it's the silent killer. It's like, it's the killer that, it's like from years and years of repressing truth, of repressing pain. We quite literally take all of this pain and bring it into our bodies, and it just stays there, right? It stays there for years and decades, and then we have children, and then it passes along to the next generation and the next generation. We are being called to step into deeper accountability for how we speak to ourselves. If you need a little cheat sheet, if you need a little life hack, imagine if you spoke to your inner child or your child the way you're speaking about yourself. Literally do the exercise. Say exactly what you're thinking about yourself. Pretend it's like to a little kid. How would you feel about that? Is it painful? Would you ever say those words to a little kid? Would you ever criticize their creations or their ideas or their bodies or their inability to do something? Or would you motivate them and speak love over them, speak success and excitement and creativity over their lives? You're being called to take radical accountability here, feminines. Beautiful. I'm going to leave it there. I hope this was supportive, and I will see you in the next one.